Rising up through the clouds, no, never give up. Climb on, climb. New York back to LA. It's so hard to stay and rest in one place. Yeah, but I see what you don't, will where you won't. So don't dare let go. Just hold on. Hold on, yeah. Lift your eyes off the ground. You've only begun. Rising up through the clouds, no, never give up. Climb on, climb. You're comparing yourself, it's like a kiss of death. Instead of doing what you're doing, you get caught up in your head. Feet on the road with your eyes on the prize. Inch by inch, one step at a time. You're losing hope when you can't find a way to speed up the timeline. But one day, though it might be a while, it's gonna be worth every mile if you just hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Just hold on. Yeah. Lift your eyes off the ground. You've only I stare from afar. I once knew someone who would sing where you are. Calling out, baby, so similar sensation, similar sensation. The melodies stalking my baby, so typical sensation, typical sensation. Don't have to wait, you know my name. Sunshine and rain, some things don't change. Thinking about the days we were young, girl. Innocent in our ways, we were young, girl. Nothing really mattered, I could always count on you. Your touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you. You don't have to wait, you know my name. Sunshine and rain, some things don't change. Thinking about the days we were young, girl. Innocent in our ways, we were young, girl. Nothing really mattered, I could always count on you. Your touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you. Stare from afar. I once knew someone who would sing where you are.
Where are you guys chiming in from? Drop it in the chat. Where are you dropping in from? Where are you chiming in from? Drop it in the chat. What do I see here? Let's go. Ellen from New York. Teresa, South Carolina. Rachel from Iowa. Joe from Mexico. Laura all the way in Italy. Dan, Fort Worth, Texas. Brad from Palm Springs, California. My boy Adam Martin, Pittsburgh. Peter from Vancouver. Let's light this up. Give yourselves a big round of applause for showing up. Come on. That's it. Why do we have to wait for a celebration? We don't need to. We can celebrate right here, right now. If there's one thing, write this down really quickly. Here it is. I'm fired up. Write this down really quickly. Celebrate often. Celebrate often. Celebrate daily. That's it. Keeping it really simple. Finding many ways to celebrate that nothing external needs to happen in order for you to celebrate for your greatness, for you showing up today. So wherever you are in the world, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm honored to be back home with all of you. This is my home, and you are my chosen family. As my great friend and brother, Tom Petrello, would say, you are my chosen family. My name is Steve Gill. I'm one of Tony's top coaches, and this is your workshop on creating your path home. Your path home. We have a couple of outcomes for today. Number one, how to get the most value from not only our time together today, but from your inner circle experiences in your community. That's the first outcome, how to get the most value. Second outcome would be to not just understand the 7 steps of the path, but to also create and carve out your own specific path. That's why this is called a workshop or a fun shop, whatever you want to call it. Here it is. So let's get started. Now, to get the most value from our time together today and from your entire inner circle experience, you want to be an active learner. Write that down. Write that down. Be an active learner. Now, I imagine you've been part of this community. You've been showing up for these live workshop trainings. You've heard this before. And remember, write this down again. Repetition is the mother skill. Repetition. What does that mean? Doing it over and over and over again until it sticks. So you want to be an active learner. You want to take down notes. Take notes as if you're going to teach it to someone else. That's the mindset here, team. Take notes as if you're going to teach it to someone else. All right. Play full out. What does that mean? Empty your cup. Empty your cup. Be the student. You're teachable. You're coachable. You're coming from your heart. Empty your cup. And I know you know that because you're part of this inner circle community. So I know that you're coachable and teachable and you're hungry for growth. And what's great about this is if you heard any of this content before, hear it like you're hearing it for the first time. Okay? The last standard or the last rule of engagement would be total and complete focus. No distractions. Get rid of your distractions so you have complete focus. Actually, I shared this with one of my coaching clients yesterday. I said, imagine if you were, and I coach a few MMA fighters. So imagine if you look at the UFC, for example, and that fighter steps into the cage. Or maybe it's an athlete marching onto and running onto the field for the championship game. They don't have anything in their hands. They're not holding a phone. They're not checking an email. They're not looking to see what the weather is like, right? They're not concerned with the news. They have a complete singular focus, 0 distractions. How would your life be like? How would your day be like if you showed up with that championship Olympian standard of complete focus? Something to think about. So those are the rules of engagement. I call them the standards. It's not just for your inner circle time or our time together on this workshop. I would say those are the standards for life. My passion really comes from families. I live this in my own life. Give me a yes in the chat box if you're committed to raising your standard. You might have these standards, but give me a yes if you're committed to raising your standards. Mary Lynn Graham, great to see you and feel you. Mika, welcome. Give me a yes in the chat if you're committed to raising your standards. Outstanding. Fantastic. And by the way, team, I'm calling you a team. I'm calling you my chosen family. If you see me looking over here, because I have this beautiful chat, I call it a chat box that just keeps scrolling and scrolling, and I'm seeing all this active. And Stacy, great to see you. And you're thinking, do I see you? Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. All right. Fantastic. Oh, Suzanne, great. Fantastic. Rosanna, fantastic. So let's dive in. Now, show of hands or drop it in the chat. And I say show of hands like you're active, like I'm active, like I'm here seeing, like you can see me, you can feel me. Imagine if I'm in your office, in your living room, wherever you are tuning in from, imagine if I'm right there. So you want to be active in your physiology. So you want to put your hands up and say yes, and also drop it in the chat. So drop it in the chat if you had the opportunity to watch Tony's video on the path, the 7 steps. If you had an opportunity, just drop it in the chat. It was in the Arena app. It was dropped earlier in the month. Fantastic. Stephen Vitale from Newcastle, Pittsburgh. I love you, brother. Now, if you haven't watched this video from Tony, guess what? You get an opportunity to watch it after today's training, sometime maybe this weekend. And if you watched it, great. Go back and watch it again. I'm very clear on that. Go back and watch it again, because after today's training, you'll have the opportunity to go a little bit deeper. Okay. So some of you haven't watched it. Great. You're going to go back and watch it. Now, drop it in the chat, and I'm going to refer to the chat because I want this active. This is not a passive training. I'm fired up. I'm lit up. I've been meditating, praying, and seeing our space together here. Drop it in the chat if you think there's a difference between a journey and a path. What do you think? If you think there's a difference between a journey and a path, how many of you would say, yes, there is a difference between a journey and a path? Yes, for sure. Fantastic. There is a clearer difference between a journey and a path. And at first thought, for me, was I thought it was the same thing. A journey and a path, I thought it was the same thing. But when I slowed down and I thought about it, I realized that there is a distinct difference. And this is what came up for me. Is a journey is unpredictable. It's exciting, right? It's unpredictable. It's up and down. It's sideways at times. It's very uncertain. Now, you might have heard Tony say this, and you can write this down, and when I say you can write this down, really, I'm saying is write this down with love. That's the direction here, team, is you want to write this down. The quality of your life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty that you can comfortably live with. I'll repeat that. The quality of your life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty that you can comfortably live with. So basically, how much uncertainty can you handle? Talk about building that emotional muscle. It's easy. I don't want to say easy. It's simple to go to the gym, let's say, go to a fitness center and lift that weight and build that physical muscle. How do I build emotional muscle? How you build emotional muscle is riding the wave and embracing the uncertainty. And what a great time to embrace the uncertainty. Tony would say, winter is here now. Are we going to survive in winter or thrive? The choice is yours. How much uncertainty day to day can you handle? Because really, that makes a difference in the quality of life you live. Is embracing the uncertainty, the unknown. Also, you might have heard a phrase that variety is the spice of life. So that is the journey. It's uncertain. We're all on many, many journeys. We're on a relationship journey, a physical health journey, an emotional journey, a financial journey, a spiritual journey, a journey with your children if you have children, a journey with your parents if you have elder parents. I know my father's been going through some health challenges. I'm on a journey with my father. Now, as much as the journey is uncertain, to get great results in any journey, you must have a path. Let that sink in. If you've been with me before, if you know me, I would say meditate on that. What does that mean? Slow down and be present. The journey is uncertain. The path is certain. So you see that the path is different in that the path will give you absolute certainty. Therefore, you bring certainty and confidence to your journey. You're in control. The path and the 7 steps will support you on navigating your journey with absolute certainty and conviction. And if Tony was here, right now, he would say to also do it in a beautiful state. To do it in a beautiful state. What does that mean? Enjoy the journey, right? How many of you have heard? Drop it in the chat. It's not the destination, it's the journey. The journey home. Ram Dass would say we're walking each other home. That's why we're here. The path home. Now, what's great about doing this workshop mid-November is because we only have a certain limited runway. I call it a runway to wrap up 2023 and build that momentum into 2024. Now, there's this phenomenon that starts to happen as we get close to the end of December. Okay, a lot of people start to come up with this one, like people get excited, right? It happens every year around the same time. People get excited about this one thing in terms of preparation for the new year. Any idea what that is? People go kind of nuts. They do it every year. Drop it in the chat if you know what it is. People start to focus and they create this one thing every year around this time of the year as they start to wrap up the year. Any idea what it is? Drop in the chat if you know what it is. I'm looking around, letting you guys catch up. Let's see, there it is. Here it comes. Resolutions, Joelle, Christina, Marilyn, Graham, Judith. Yes, Nora, great to see you, my friend, all the way in New York, my dear friend. How many of you are familiar with New Year's resolutions? Yes? Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we start to get into this place of creating New Year's resolutions. Now, it's a goal that, basically people, if you're not familiar with resolution, it's a goal. People will point to a calendar and say on January 1st. That's the first thing that they point to a calendar on January 1st. I'm going to do this or quit this or whatever. I'm going to start this or I'm going to stop this. Now, here are a few of the challenges with New Year's resolutions. I mean, first off, it's typically a goal. Now, you might be thinking, okay, what does Steve have against setting goals? I'll share a distinct difference between or a challenge I have with a goal and a difference between a goal and a result is a goal is just an idea or a desire. Think of a goal as it's up in the clouds, okay? Whereas what we do here in our Tony Robbins community as Tony Robbins results coaches is we focus on results and outcomes. One of the biggest differences between a goal and a result is that you might or might not achieve your goal, but you will always get a result. Think about that, right? You might or might not achieve your goal in life, but there's always a result. Second challenge I have with a New Year's resolution or goal is that they are never specific enough. Third challenge is that they don't have a purpose or reason why it's important to achieve the goal. It's just a goal. It's not backed by fuel. There's no driving force behind it. Fourth, there's no timeline of when it'll be achieved. Another challenge, fifth challenge I have with a goal is typically there's no way to measure if you've achieved a goal or not. And lastly, people don't have action steps or a map. So that's why I would say a goal is just an idea. It's just a desire. Research shows somewhere between 70 to 80% of people will have the same New Year's resolution year on year. Okay. And now if you go a little bit further, that's what the path is all about is the path is not about goals. The path is giving you certainty on achieving the result that you want. And what tends to also happen with these goals and ideas and these New Year's resolutions is somewhere by the third week of January, true fact, by the third week of January, 80% of people have failed, strong word, have failed at their New Year's resolution. And that used to be me. That used to be me. So we want to get away from that language of goals and focus more on results and outcomes because that drives us and that's certainty. So this is why it's a great time to do this workshop on creating your path. And as much as I said that I don't believe in New Year's resolutions, okay, I do believe in the power of leveraging. We will leverage the calendar year being mid-November to fuel our motivation and momentum to create our path towards results in our life. I love this time of the year for many, many reasons, right? We're wrapping up the year. I'm thinking about the year ahead. And that's calendar year. It's specific. There's a date. It's there. Leverage that. Use that to create this path. That's why I love it. It's great timing to do this work. And it's not going to be perfect. We're just going to have fun with it. Now, I'm going to share the diagram. By the way, before we bring up this diagram, I just want to pause for a moment and also share another reason why I'm very passionate about today's training is this content that we're training on today is exclusive from our Platinum Partner Relationship Seminar that we just completed last month in Maui in Hawaii. It's our top tier clients, and it was something that it was a strategy that Tony trained on for this really elite exclusive audience. And now we have the opportunity to do a live training on it. How cool is that? Pretty cool, right? Yes? And I was there. I was at that event. I was there and I thought, wow, this is amazing. I love it. And so we're here to share it with you. So we're going to drop it in the chat, a PDF form. You also have it in your Arena app. It's a path to 7 steps. And we're going to go through the 7 steps and start to think of a result that you want to create in your life or have in your life. So as I go through, I'm going to walk through each one of the 7 steps. You're going to start to slow down and think, what is a result that you want right here, right now in your life? And try and keep it focused. Bring a focus of like 60 days. Like think of it between now and January 1st. Is it a result in your relationships? Maybe it's a financial result. It's an emotional result. Maybe you're tired of suffering. There's a flavor of suffering that you go to. Maybe it's a spiritual result. Maybe it's a result in your career, your mission, a result with your children. Maybe it's a result in your home life. Maybe it's a result in your social life with friends. What is a result that you want in your life? Because what Tony shared with us at that seminar was that the path, the 7 steps, isn't just exclusive to relationships. It's exclusive to any result you want in your life. Yes, Darcy, it's very cool. Very cool. Jamie Reeve, right on. Jody Gold, sweet. Liana, fantastic. Laura Cardozi, great to see you. So let's bring up the path, the 7 steps. Okay, so we're going to bring it up, and I'm just going to walk through each step. And there's Team Tony also dropped the PDF there so you can follow along. Now, step 1 is, what do you really want to activate and awaken your hunger? And I love the language there. It's not what do you want. What do you really want? And you're going to put that emphasis on it. This is when you connect to what you really want and why you want it. 2 questions I live by really quick. Here's a little bonus. I'll give this to you. It's attached to step 1. 2 questions I live by. Write them down. Here it is, really fast. Number 1, what do you really want? Number 2, why do you want it? And I leverage time, team. Anywhere I go, any meeting, training I do on stage, when I'm training in the gym, I go grocery shopping. I'm clear with intention. What do I want? Why do I want it? I leverage time. I get value and impact. My friend would say a return on investment, because I'm training my brain to focus on what do I really want? Why do I want it? Step 2 on the path, find and face the truth. I love that. Gives me goosebumps. Face the truth. The truth will set you free. Now, this step is about creating the gap from where you are to where you want to be. Transformations and breakthroughs, just write this down actually really quick. Transformations and breakthroughs are in closing the gap. I'm going to repeat that. Transformations and breakthroughs are in closing the gap from where you are to where you want to be in any one of those areas in life. Wherever you want to achieve a result, you got to expose a gap. That's why Tony would say we are gap coaches. We close the gap all day long. Without a gap, guess what? Your life is good. What's good? Average. Step 3, resolve and create a map. What does MAP stand for? Massive Action Plan. Okay, creating action steps. That's what step 3 is all about. How many of you drop it in the chat if you're familiar with RPM? Drop it in the chat if you're familiar with RPM. Yeah, quite a few of you. RPM. That's Tony's rapid planning method. And so think of it, step 3 is a condensed version of RPM. And you could quite possibly create an RPM plan for your result that you're going to create in the 7 steps. Okay, and if you're not familiar with RPM, that's okay too. And it is one of the programs that are in the Arena app under Time of Your Life. Okay, but really step 3 is about the action steps. You guys are doing fantastic, by the way. Keep staying active, staying engaged. Step 4, love this language, by the way. Well done, Tony Robbins. Step 4 is do what's hard. Slay your dragons. Slay your dragons. What does that mean? Well, there's this expression in sales. They say, kiss the frog first thing in the morning. What an expression, right? Kiss the frog. What does that mean? It means do the thing that is uncomfortable. First thing in the morning, do the thing that's uncomfortable. I take cold showers. I learned that from my mentor, Tony Robbins. He does cold water immersion. He says he doesn't like cold water. In every one of his homes, he either has a cold water plunge, Sun Valley, Idaho. He has a river in the back, right? He'll jump in the river. I've seen him do it. It's insane. And he hates cold water. Why does he do it? He embraces the uncomfortable thing first thing in the morning. He does the hard. So imagine as you get clear on your results, you're going to say, okay, what are the what are 1 or 2 actions that are uncomfortable? So that's in step 4. Step 5, developing a daily practice. So without a daily practice, we won't condition it in our nervous system. And as a daily practice will support you in your path. So it's like a supportive environment around you that supports your growth towards your result. Step 6 is raise your standard and measure more often. Become your true self. We must raise our standards. That's how we started today's training, talking about standards. I'm challenging all of you. You think you're doing great, there's a higher standard. And Tony says it's not about achieving the goal. It's about who do you need to become? Who are you becoming in order to achieve your goal? And it's in your standards. So I just want to pause on this for a moment. It's not about getting the outcome. It's who do you need to become? Think about that. Let that sink in. So it's not that target. Yes, we're going to have a target, but who are you becoming on the journey, on the path? Who do you need to become? How do you need to raise your standards to achieve that result? And in the same breath, we must be able to measure our progress. That's why we started with celebration. We must celebrate our journey. Write this down really quickly before we go on. True fulfillment lives in your progress. True fulfillment lives in your progress wherever you are in the gap. However far you think that gap is from where you are to where you want to be, is how are you progressing? Tony would say 2 millimeter shift, distinctions, and progress towards your results. So that's step 6. Last step, step 7, is life is a gift. Celebrate, appreciate, and give back. What does that mean? You must celebrate your wins. That's how we started. Your progress, and share it with others. Meet your need for contribution. Tony trains and coaches on 6 human needs psychology. I'm not going to spend time on that today, but one of the needs of the spirit, or the fulfillment needs that all human beings have across the world, doesn't matter the color of your skin, male, female, doesn't matter who you are, one of the needs for the spirit is a need for contribution. And actually, our last workshop in 2023, my brother, Charlie Mills, is going to rock the house in our December live workshop, all about gratitude and contribution and appreciation. So you're going to stay tuned for that. Okay. But step 7 is how are you going to give back of your time and your energy? Tony says the secret to living is giving back of your time and energy to others. So those are the 7 steps for your path on how to navigate your journey. Now, before we assure that we're in a peak state, I just want all of you to take a sip of water, coffee, whatever, tea, whatever you're drinking. Everyone just take a big sip. I'm going to do the same. So refreshing. Cheers to, we're going to start an amazing workshop. So you want to stay hydrated. All right. You want to say, yeah, I should have mentioned that. Actually, that could be a standard for engagement, is to assure that you have lots of water, you're staying hydrated, as if you are taking notes and staying active as well. So you guys ready to crush today's workshop? Give me a yes in the chat if you're ready to crush today's workshop. Give me a yes. All right. Well, you know the drill. We never, ever do anything unless we're in a peak what? We have to be in a peak what? State. That's right. We got to be in a peak state. State is everything. So I'm going to count to 3. And when I say 3, you're going to blow the roof off this place, wherever you are. You're going to jump up and down. You're going to dance. You're going to bring that level of excitement and energy into this space that you're in right now so we can feel you, because you're coming in from all over the world. I want it so much so, hear me, that the people around you, your neighbors next door, they're like, what the heck's going on there? Right? And just notice for a moment, what are you thinking? How are you feeling right now? Where did you kind of drop your energy down a little bit? You're a bit in your comfort zone, because it's a Tony Robbins live workshop. And if there's any essence or foundation that we do, it's increasing our energy. So I'm going to count to 3. Get ready for it. And when I count to 3, when I get to 3, you're going to go nuts. You're going to unleash. Get ready for it. Here we go, team. 1, 2, 3, unleash. Come on. Shake it up. That's it. Keep going. Get your energy high. Feel it. Come on. Shake up that energy. Oh, yeah. Every time I leave. Outstanding. Outstanding. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Take another sip of water. Whatever you're drinking, stay hydrated. Okay. Keep your state nice and high. Stay active. Okay, so we're going to go through this workshop. You all have a pen and paper, something you're writing on. We're going to keep this very simple. So keep your energy nice and high. Stay active in that active state. And you're going to answer a couple of questions on each step. So right now, first question, I'm bringing it up right now, is what is one result? So step 1 is, what do you really want? Activate and awaken your hunger. So what is one result you want to achieve in the next 60 days? Keep this simple. Don't overthink it. Stay present with me. One result. Maybe there's a bunch of results. See what you come up with, but really keep it specific to one result. If you want to write down a few and then you want to say, okay, circle it, boom, that's the one result. Keep it time defined just for the next 60 days. What is that one result? Go. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. You guys are doing outstanding. Don't overthink it. You want to make it as specific as possible. Think about it. Do you want to invest some money somewhere? Do you want to drop 12 pounds, 10 pounds? Do you want to have more passion and intimacy in your relationship? Maybe you want to organize your garage. Possibly get started on writing your book. Maybe it's building your website that you've been putting off. Or mapping out the next steps in your career. Even asking for a raise in your career. What do you really want? Write it down. You can also drop it in the chat. You're doing great. Maybe it's a shift in your standards. Ten Business Mastery on January. Amazing party animal there in the chat. Hey, you guys are doing great. Fantastic. Next question. We're going to keep this momentum growing. is, next question, you guys are doing great. What are the top 5 reasons why you want this result? What are the top 5 reasons why you want this result? Now, the reason why we ask this question, remember, it's the result. What do you want? Then why? This is the why. This is the why. Why do you want that result? And just in that peak state, write down all the reasons why it's a must. In a peak state, you guys are doing great.
100 miles underground, when the rubble is falling, you'll be singing aloud. Don't you feel it now? Your lungs are still breathing in air and out, and your feet are still hitting the ground. So you gotta hold on. You've gotta hold on.
Remember, this is your purpose, your fuel. Why is it a must, an absolute must, for you to achieve your result? Who else will be impacted in your life as a result of you achieving your result or outcome? Put their name down. Remember, Tony says sometimes we do more for others than we do for ourselves. Reasons come first. Answers come second. What drives you to achieve this result? Write about that. You're doing great. Couple more moments. Remember, keep this simple. Just what comes to you. What's your why? Okay, finish it up. Fantastic. Now, just on that point, I'm going to say this is in life, think about this for a moment here, team. In life, some teachers would say that the why is almost more powerful than what it is you want. So what that means is your purpose and your why, if you can create it and just slow down and really get emotional with it, doesn't mean you have to, it's not about breaking down and crying, or like maybe it is. But really, like when I say having an emotional reason is, if I don't achieve this result, something worth writing down, write this question down. If I don't achieve this result, what will it cost me? What are the consequences of not achieving this result? And then when, not if, when I achieve this result, what's the reward? What's the upside? What's the gift? What's the benefit? And there lies in your purpose. Okay, you guys are doing outstanding. Step 2. We're on step 2. Keep moving along. Step 2 is find and face the truth. The truth will set you free. That is step 2. So the first question up is, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you currently on achieving this result? We got to measure it. So like, think of it, 1 being not that close at all, and 10 being you've already achieved it. And we're going to move pretty quick on this. So don't overthink it. Just put a number down. Where are you at 1 to 10 on achieving this result? Because remember, we have to expose the gap of where we are to where we need to be. So put a number on it. Second question. This is the $1 million question in coaching. Here it is. I'm giving it to you as a gift. Okay, it's my gift to you. What was or is preventing you from achieving this result? What is preventing you? Okay, write it down. Write it down. So get connected to the story. It's probably a story. Tony would say it's a BS belief, a limiting belief or something. So get into the story. What is preventing you? Go. What's holding you back? Is it fear? What are you afraid of? Write about that. Maybe it's a limiting belief. Are you missing a skill? Do you not have the right contacts? What's the story you're telling yourself? And remember, success in anything in life is 80% psychology and mindset. 20% skill or strategy. So what that means is what's most likely holding you back or preventing you is in the mirror, your mindset. Just something to think about.
So won't you touch this heart that doesn't have a song to sing and sing it to me?
A couple more moments. Make sure you have something written down of what is preventing you. Okay. Fantastic. Moving on to step 3. You guys are doing great. Stay active. When I say stay active, if you're sitting active like I am right now. If you're standing nice and tall. So step 3 is resolve and create a map. Okay. Resolve and create a map. So first question is, what are 8 actions that you can take in order to achieve your result? Because what we've done right now, we've determined what do we want, why do we want it, what's holding us back. Now, what are the actions? Don't overthink this. Think of this as a brain dump. Just put down anything that you could do in order to achieve your result. Just actions. Don't overthink it. Stay active. Just write down anything you could do. What are your actions? Come up with at least 8. Go.
Never find one that gets to me. You're the warmth of my waking hours. You're the dream when I go to sleep. Stay with me. Stay with me. 'Cause I belong with you. It'd be wrong just to walk away when the road gets steeper. You're my song, won't you dance along? I'll be holding on, baby, you're my keeper.
Keep your energy nice and high. Stay. Keep it simple. Make a list of actions you could take in order to achieve your results. Okay, fantastic. And if you're still writing, that's okay, because you're going to come back to this. And you can do this on other results in your life. We're going to move on to the second question, step 3. Out of your 8 actions, what are your top 2 that's going to create the biggest impact? Okay, and if you're still writing actions, that's fantastic. It's not a one and done here, team. This is your path. This is the path home. You're going to come back. You could always spend more time on this, but we want to keep this going. This is how you do it. You got to keep it simple. So now you got a bunch of actions. What are your top 2 actions that will create the biggest impact? Okay, create the biggest impact. Just identify what the top two are. Put an asterisk beside your top two. Okay, stay here with me now. Now you might be thinking, okay, how do you identify your top two actions? It's a little strategy that I learned from Tony many years ago. You can prioritize your top two actions based on what's the number one, what's the easiest to implement. So when you look at your actions, what's the easiest to implement? Because that builds that momentum, it gets you going right away. Number two, it'll create the greatest impact. And then number three, what's the action that's going to be the least costly? So three criteria: easiest to implement, greatest impact, least costly. Another person would say, what's the low-hanging fruit? Like, it's easy. Do the easy first in terms of that committing to the action. Like when you identify your top two actions. Okay, so now we've done that. You've put an asterisk. Let's keep moving on. Okay, slide or step 4, which is also slide 4, is do what's hard. Slay your dragons. Question for you here, team, is what's the one stretch action that's going to challenge you to get uncomfortable? So what's the one stretch action? Remember, I shared the example of kiss the frog first thing in the morning. We do cold showers, right? So what's the one stretch action that's going to challenge you to get you uncomfortable? Go ahead. Just a couple moments on this one.
When you move, there's a freedom from your hips up to your eyes. Patron saint of the
Remember this, life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. So how can you be uncomfortable? What is one action that's going to stretch you? Maybe as you're thinking this, you're writing down another action. What have you been procrastinating on? Maybe it's that action. Couple more moments.
your skin soft as ice cream.
Outstanding. Moving right along, and you can see how this is. And by the way, this is not like this is what we do. Like, this is how long. Like, it's not going to be this, because if we overcomplicate it, Tony would say perfection is the enemy of execution. So if we get in our heads or we try to perfect it, that's the chokehold. So anything worthwhile doing in life, we always do it in a peak state. So we do these exercises and access the strategy in a peak state, and we get it done. We move right along. So step 5, which is probably one of my favorite steps personally, is develop a daily practice. Okay. First question up is, what are 3 morning rituals that support your growth towards your result? Remember when I shared that it's not about the result, it's who do you become? So what are 3 morning rituals? All of you have rituals, by the way. Chances are most of you are doing them unconsciously. What are 3 rituals that you want to add to your morning routine that are going to support your growth towards your result? Okay, go ahead. A couple moments on this. Rituals. Rituals are going to create the impact towards your result. Maybe it's a morning meditation, morning prayer, a walk, quick brisk walk, maybe a stretch, making the green drink. Marsha's got priming, walking and meditation. Mika's got priming, incantation. Yes. Go for a run. Maybe reading, journaling. So what are the 3 rituals that really energize you and get you in that peak state? Sophia, electronic free movement. Yes, all of you are working on that one result. You're working on the same result and working through the 7 steps. Okay, couple more moments. Fantastic. Remember, you can always add to this list. So the next question is, what are 3 evening rituals So three rituals that support your growth towards your result. And the reason we paired this up is think of your morning routines and your evening routines are the bookends to create that magic and transformation during the day. So you already developed three morning rituals. What are three evening rituals? Go ahead. Keep it simple.
And then we die, I think I'm fine. Maybe I'll write you from the other side.
How will you reset your day? Maybe close the loop on your day, unwind, recharge, disconnect, so therefore you can connect. Could be similar to the ones you have in the morning.
Sister on his own, he brushed her hair and watched her grow.
One of my favorites lately is to soak in the tub with some Epsom salts and lavender oil, and I light a candle and hot water. It just gives me some breaths. Maybe it's asking yourself a set of questions like, where did you serve today? Who did you help today? What did you learn? What are you most grateful for today? An evening set of questions. What are your rituals that really support you in the evening time? Couple more moments. Marsha's got a reading gratitude list. Good dinner. I love that, Nora. Good dinner, shower, prayer. Beautiful state into sleep, Sophia. Fantastic. Couple more moments. So now you've created a couple or three evening rituals and you have some morning rituals. Let's go on to step 6. We're just about there. You guys are doing outstanding. By the way, we've only taken one result and we've gone through or going through the 7 steps. So step 6 is raise your standard and measure more often, become your true self. So the first question up is, what are 2 ways you can measure if you're progressing towards your result or you're getting further away? So how can you measure your result? How are you progressing towards or away from your result? Okay, a couple moments. You're doing great. Remember this, you can't manage what you don't measure. I would also say what you measure, you master. So if it's a weight result, someone you came up with, maybe jumping on a scale, doing a body fat percentage test. If it's a relationship result that you're working through, maybe it's getting weekly feedback during date night from your significant other. Really, essentially, how can you measure your result? You've got to be able to measure it. Couple more moments. Okay, start to wrap that up. Next question is, what's your new standard? Okay, so what's your new standard? Meaning, what are you not going to tolerate anymore? So now you've identified how you're going to measure it. What's your new standard? And your new standard, maybe it's a new set of beliefs. Maybe it's a new set of beliefs, value, but what's connected to your result? Like maybe it was mentioned earlier, it's an incantation. I'm worthy. I got this. I'm born for this. This is who I am. So what are you not going to tolerate anymore? Is it procrastination? Right? Write that down. What are you you're not settling anymore. What are you not going to tolerate? Because Tony would say you get what you tolerate. Are you not tolerating your laziness, your poor eating habits? sleeping patterns. Maybe you're hitting snooze, overeating, snacking after dinner, staying up late, overspending, too much alcohol. Maybe it's not bringing enough energy and presence in your relationships. Couple of moments, write it down. What are you not going to tolerate? You guys are doing great. We're just about done.
All my years on the run.
All right, fantastic. Moving right along. You guys are doing outstanding. Last step, we made it. Last step is life is a gift. Celebrate, appreciate, and give back. So we're going to keep this really simple and quick, all right? We're going to blast through this because you're all in a peak state. What are one or two ways you can celebrate your progress? What are one or two ways you can celebrate your progress? Okay, so stay here with me. Just capture what are one or two ways. You know, maybe it's getting a massage. You know, one of the things I celebrate is I get a massage. I get some Reiki done. Maybe it's going out for a nice dinner, a nice meal. How are you going to treat yourself or reward yourself? Just capture one or two ways. Fantastic. And again, you could come back and answer more of these later on. Second question is, who in your life can you go and teach this to? So write their name down. And then the reason why we have that is the quickest way to get any teaching or action into our bodies and condition it is how we do that, I should say, how something becomes part of our identity and that physical mastery is when we go and teach it to someone else. So who in your life can you go and teach this to? The 7 steps. Okay, so you capture a couple ways you can celebrate. You got someone, you put their name down on who you can go and teach this to. And remember, if you're still writing, you can come back and finish this up. And that is it. That is the 7 steps, the path home. Well done, everyone. Congratulations. And give yourselves a big round of applause. Come on, make some noise. Seriously, come on. Outstanding. Seriously rocked it today. Now, what you have in front of you is the path to achieve your extraordinary life. And again, it might not be perfect. And guess what? It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. So I encourage all of you, as part of your commitment, put yourself back into a peak state, go through your notes, look at your results, look at your steps. You can add to it, then capture another result and go through the 7 steps. Okay. Now, as always, there are commitments to keep your momentum growing. Okay. So we got 3 commitments for you really quick. You're going to use the hashtag the path to post your wins and celebrations and where you are on your journey, your path. And you're going to do that in the Arena app. Number 2, you're going to play full out with the Breakthrough Program Ultimate Edge. And if you're going through another program, fantastic, stay with it. We're just recommending or suggesting the Ultimate Edge. Last commitment is you want to mark your calendars. I already dropped the hint. Our next live Inner Circle training session is December 14th. Mark your calendars at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. My name is Steve Gill. As always, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve all of you today. Thank you for your engagement, your participation, welcoming me into your homes, your personal space to do this deep, meaningful work. It lights me up. It fills up my cup. I'm sending you lots of love and blessings on your path, and I'll see you soon on your journey. Thank you. God bless. I'm out. Give yourselves another round of applause. Come on.